Welcome to another Rogers Capital market commentary where we attempt to be the antidote to water cooler wisdom. A little bit of a tough October, down a little bit over 2%. The third consecutive month of negative returns. That takes us below 10% growth for the year 2023. Now, the first week of November so far has been a really nice rebound, so we will see what comes for the rest of this month. Keep your fingers crossed. Some of the same headwinds that we've been discussing here for months now. Geopolitical concerns, slowing economic growth, not only here in the US, but globally. Sticky inflation, the Fed's higher for longer admission or approach. Now, the consumer here, U.S. consumer, has remained resilient, but we're really beginning to see some strain on corporations. Several articles this week about layoffs that are coming. Corporations really kind of beginning to feel the pressure. So instead of rehashing those several points, I thought we'd talk through a foundational principle called the touchdown rule. So higher rates these days, right? Speaking of higher rates, the touchdown rule. Occasionally, I'll have clients asking me what they should do with some extra money. Maybe they've inherited a little bit of money. Maybe they've gotten a big bonus at work. Even at times wondering about selling some investments to pay off their mortgage or some debt that they've accrued. And so the question comes, should I, take this money and pay this debt off or that debt off? What I walk folks through is called the touchdown rule. I'm sure all of you are familiar. A touchdown is 6 points. At 6% or less, we want to use somebody else's money. At 6% or higher, you want to get rid of that debt, okay? Touchdown rule, 6 points. 6 or less, use somebody else's money. 6 or higher than 6, get rid of it, okay? And why is that? Well, what would you guess is the average annual return for the S&P 500? We can go back 50 years. What would you guess the average return is? 6%, maybe 7, 8? No, it's 10.8%. And so the principle here on the touchdown rule is that we don't want to take money that's either already invested or could be invested at a significant rate to pay off debt that's less than, in our case here, 6%. Okay? We want to keep your money working. Right now, that doesn't mean that we just run around racking up debt for anything that's less than 6%, right? We apply some common sense. We're not going to run out and get a pontoon and some golf carts and jet skis, and because they're all at 0.9% interest, right? A home, a car, maybe 2 cars. I think you could probably persuade me that any educational loan, where of course we're going to school to make, get a better career, make more money, we could probably justify. But we're not talking about just, hey, what's the rate? Oh, it's less than 6, deal, obviously, right? We want to apply some common sense there. But it doesn't make any mathematical sense to sell investments making 8 or 10% to pay down debt that's 2 or 3. Now, you say, well, no, Corey, I'm not going to owe anybody anything. I know. I've heard that for years. 25 years of doing this, I've had multiple clients tell me, I don't believe in debt. I don't want to owe anybody anything. I know. I'm no fan of debt myself. But let's use this touchdown rule to be smart about the use of debt. Okay? Minimal, common sense debt. Years ago, I had a client call me from a dealership in the process of purchasing a car. Corey, need $40,000+ here at the dealership. Need to wrap this up, get this. Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, this is your money. It's what it's here for. Happy to send it to you. But first, do me a favor, ask the guy there across from you what the rate is that he loaned you this $40,000+. Well, why would I do that? Is the response. I'm not going to owe anybody anything. Yeah, I know. Just do me a favor and ask. The answer was 1.9%. This was years ago, but 1.9%. So then we kind of went through the conversation. I'm going to have to sell, in this one client's case, I'm going to have to sell tax-free bonds paying 5 so that we can turn around and you not have to pay Ford 1.9. See, that doesn't make any mathematical sense. Now, what was happening in that case, this client was placing a premium on not owing anybody anything. And that's fine. That's okay. In fact, that premium might be different for each of you. But that's not math, okay? We're not walking through the math of selling tax-free bonds at 5 to pay off debt at 1.9. In fact, as we do that, now we don't have those bonds earning 5 to pay forward less than that. In fact, even selling those bonds, the tax on selling those bonds at a gain at the time was probably more than they were ever going to pay in taxes. So, touchdown rule. Yeah, you may have a premium that you place above that, that's fine, but common sense use of debt. Let's walk through what the cost of using our capital in different places is. Okay, so 6% or less, use somebody else's money. 6% or higher, get rid of it. Okay? What are some examples of those? Credit cards. You almost can't find a credit card if it's got a balance on it at all. It's 14, 20, 25% interest. What do we do with those? We get rid of those, okay? 6%, 24, we get rid of that debt. Do you want to make 25%? Pay off that debt. You've just made 25%. Cars occasionally, again, these days rates are higher. Used cars are typically higher rate, 8, 9, maybe 10% on a used car. Well, touchdown rule 6, is it higher? Okay, then let's get rid of that debt. We want our money to be working for us, keep it working for us at rates less than that. But if not, we want to be smart and get rid of that debt. Okay, touchdown rule. It's what the big boys do. It's what Wall Street does. It's the reason Apple, who has billions and billions of dollars sitting in cash, will still turn around and borrow money, issuing bonds, borrowing money from you and I to then turn around and put that money to work. Now, they don't have a touchdown rule probably of 6%. They have a higher internal on their products, ROE of probably 15 or so, but they use the same principle. Chevron, Exxon, same story. Will turn around and borrow from us at 3, 4, 5% so they can take that money and use it to make more. Okay, touchdown rule. At 6 or less, use somebody else's money. Common sense wise, okay, just a couple of little areas. Use somebody else's money. 6 above, get rid of it. Pay it off. Okay? That's it for this month. Happy November to you. I'm so thankful for you. And this month we set aside with Thanksgiving. You'll never know the blessing it is to be able to do what I love, to do it with great people like yourselves, not just clients, but friends, and honestly, what feel like, family to us. So happy Thanksgiving to you. God bless you. I hope you have a great holiday. We'll talk to you in December.